Well, everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about moon in the 12th house. This is the last video in this series, and we are going to discuss that what happens when moon goes into the 12th house in anyone's horoscope. So let's start the video. So first of all, let's see that what is moon. Moon is a very important planet in Vedic astrology. Why? Because it represents your mind and it represents your emotions, your thinking process, thought process, and without proper mind and thought process you cannot do any task. Any simple task also you cannot do without a proper mind. So that's why moon is the most important planet in Vedic astrology. So moon represents your mind, thought process, emotions, feelings, mental disposition. What do you think? How do you think? All those things are represented by moon. Other than this, moon is the signifactor of your mother. It represents your childhood. Mainly it represents your moral values which you have gained through your upbringing, especially the nourishment of your mother. All the values which have been nurtured by her in you are seen through moon. So these are all the kinds of things which are represented by moon. Now what is the 12th house? Now 12th house is first of all a Dusthana house. 12th house is a Dusthana house and it is mainly the house of expenditure. It is known as Vyabhav. Okay, so it represents your expenditures, your losses, and it is the house of foreign lands. All sorts of things which are related to foreign lands are seen through the 12th house. Other than this, 12th house represents hospitals, jails, asylums. It is the house of secrecy, bed pleasures. 12th house is the house of spirituality, moksha, yoga, philanthropy. So you can see that 12th house represents a whole lot of bunch. Now what happens when moon goes into the 12th house? First of all, moon going into the 12th house, this means your mind is going into the 12th house. Your mind will be having a prominent influence of the 12th house qualities upon itself. So first of all, these people are kind of people who like to be reserved, who like to keep themselves reserved from society. They want to keep themselves isolated from society. They don't want to socialize, and most of the time it is found that these people want to live in their own habituated sanctuary in which they are most comfortable, in which they feel most comfortable. These are not the people who find themselves emotionally motivated when they are in social gatherings and with their tens and hundreds of friends around them. They don't like that. So this is because of the moon in the 12th house. Now the next thing is that these people are a daydreamer. Why? Because 12th house is the house of imagination, and 12th and moon is your mind. So moon is now imagining things. Imagination is more strong. Now these, especially in watery signs like Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, these qualities are more enhanced. Okay, now these qualities are more enhanced, and especially in nakshatra of Revati, the daydreaming quality is much more aggressive. No, not aggressive, it is much more enhanced. Aggressive is the wrong term. So this is what moon represents. Now other than this, when moon is in the 12th house, this shows that mind of the person is inclined towards spirituality, is inclined towards philanthropy, is inclined towards kundalini, yoga, pranayam, all those kinds of things, because 12th house is the house of these things. But for this, for inclination towards these sort of things which are not considered as a part of general society, because most of the people are not inclined towards these things. So for that you have to see the aspect of Jupiter, influence of Jupiter on moon, which is a must. Without that, this proper inclination towards these kind of things, towards enlightenment, towards moksha, towards spirituality, will not be there without Jupiter. So moon in the 12th house helps towards going there, but aspect of Jupiter or influence of Jupiter is must. Other than this, this also shows that these people are prominent thinkers. Prominent thinkers in the sense that because 12th house is the house of imagination and it represents thinking process. So these people think a lot, rather than some people take actions without thinking, but these people do little actions but think a lot. So these people are prominent thinkers, and you will find maximum fantasy writers with this particular alignment. Why? Because 12th house is again the house of imagination, and if it is associated with the 3rd lord or 5th lord of authorship, of publishing, of writing, or with Mercury, then this shows that now these people have the ability to transform their ideas or imagination into literary work. So you can find many people, many authors, especially they take the case of J.K. Rowling. She has moon in the 12th house. So this shows that moon here gives good imagination qualities towards the to the person who is having this alignment. So fantasy writers are mainly seen. I will not say fictional. Fiction is a lesser version of fantasy. So this is one particular result. Other than this, 12th house is the house of travels, foreign travels, and when moon is there, this means that person don't want to stick to a particular place. This means that person wants to travel a lot, and these people do travel a lot, because moon in the 12th house or any benefic in the 12th house generally gives good results in terms of foreign travel. These people travel a lot, especially in the time period of moon, in the Antardasha, Mahadasha or Pratyantardasha of moon, or in the Gemini dashas of moon. They will travel a lot if it is happening in the 12th house. But the purpose of their travel mostly relates to seeking a higher wisdom area. Like they go for spirituality, they go for learning a new thing which they don't have that in their own country, or they go to they go for a new education abroad. So mainly these kind of things are seen for foreign travel. What will be the purpose of foreign travel? Other than this, these people have a philanthropic attitude. They want to donate things, they do a lot of charity, and they associate themselves with organizations which do charity, which are associated with philanthropic works. So mainly all sorts of humanitarian works are seen through this particular alignment. Now when this moon is associated here with Rahu or Ketu, it can make the person intuitive also. Only with Rahu, Ketu, no other planet. So it can make a person intuitive, give a enhanced sixth sense, what you call. These people can sense paranormal activities, which we call them. So this happens when moon especially is with Rahu in the 12th house. I will not consider Ketu. Ketu will give this, but mainly Rahu, because Rahu is the illusion. Ketu does not represent illusion. Ketu is a other side of reality which we don't want to see. Ketu is reality, but that is the reality which we don't want to see. Rahu is illusion. It doesn't represent reality at all. So that's why moon when with Rahu is in the 12th house can show these things. Then what is your moon? Moon is your mother also. So other result which we can see is there can be a distant or inconsistent relationship with mother, and that relationship can be distant not in terms of emotional platform, but also physically in the sense that your parents are living somewhere else, like in your home country, and you are living abroad. So there is a gap, distant gap, a physical gap. So there will be inconsistencies with the relationship of your mother, especially because moon is your mother. 12th house is the house of inconsistencies and distance, a separation, house of separation. So there will be a separation, a barrier between the relationship between you and your mother. But if Jupiter is there, these results will not be fructified. Further, you can also see that moon represents protective figures. Protective figures means that professionally who are working towards the people who are underprivileged, who are serving them, like doctors, nurses, or other humanitarian aid workers or firefighters. They serve the humanity, they serve the people who are underprivileged, or any NGO or any organization which is working towards the people who are not having the normal resources which you and I have. So people who are working in jails, and in jails I do not mean the policemen, I mean the doctors or nurses who are there to serve the inmates who are suffering from any kinds of ailments. Those are represented by this. People who work in hospitals, in mental asylums are seen through this, because moon represents that. So you can see this also, but for that you have to check on the other results also, not just the combination. This particular alignment gives this profession. This is a plus point, this adds to the point, but for guessing actually what will be the profession, you have to see other things. So these are the various kinds of results which moon gives when it is in the 12th house, and especially when moon is afflicted here. I want to make one point here, is that when moon is afflicted in the 12th house, affliction means it is in association with Rahu Ketu, and with Rahu Ketu means poor strength of Rahu Ketu will be there, and moon is afflicted by them, or Mercury is not well placed, it is also afflicted, and the Jupiter aspect is not there, all other malefic aspects are there on moon. So this can show mental ailments also, because 12th house represents mental ailments. So for that you have to check on in detail in the whole by analyzing the combinations in general in the main birth chart as well as the D9 chart. But this particular alignment can show these things, but in certain particular conditions, not always. So these are the results what moon gives when it is in the 12th house or when it sits in the 12th house in anyone's horoscope. So now let's summarize this whole topic, what we have learned so far, what does moon represent. So you will be able to see on your screen right now what results does moon give when it is in the 12th house. First of all, this makes person very reserved. These people love to live and work behind the scenes, and these people are prominent thinkers. They have good imagination skills. Moon makes them inclined towards spirituality, meditation, yoga, and if moon is strong, and here Jupiter aspect is must. Now it also gives foreign travels, especially in its time period. These people seek mental peace through spirituality, philanthropy, and visiting to foreign places. Sometimes emotionally unresponsive. This particular alignment can make sometimes emotionally unresponsive, but for that you have to see the zodiac sign in which moon is sitting. This gives intuitive capabilities to the person when it is with Rahu or Ketu, especially Rahu. It can show inconsistency and distant relationship with the mother due to difference in mentalities. And these people are daydreamers. So, and other than this, you can find these people who work in jails, asylums, and hospitals. So these are the things what moon represents when it sits into the 12th house. So if you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my Twitter and Facebook page. Otherwise, we will meet in the next video, deal with some other topic. Till then, goodbye and thank you.